Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And in this video, we're going to be talking to you about my ex doesn't give me attention.
It's a hard one.
Ooh.
Before we get into it, Craig and I are available for coaching. So if you would like our attention, you can head to the website and book from there.
Absolutely. We're happy to help you out. When you're going through a breakup, one of the painful components of it is that level of attention and care that you used to get from your ex is just not what it used to be. Mm-hmm. Even if they are reaching out to you and you are having some kind of contact, it's probably nowhere near what it used to be, and that can really hurt.
Oh, yeah.
So in this video, we're going to talk about that and what it's like to go through that when you're wanting that person's attention that you're used to having.
I want to start out by saying that attention isn't a bad thing, and I think attention in our society in general gets a pretty bad rap. We hear a lot of negative things about attention. Oh, she's just looking for attention. Oh, he's just wanting your attention.
Yeah, good point.
So
they did this horrible thing because they want attention.
They wanted attention. I think there's a lot of negative connotation on it, but I just want to say that it's not always a negative thing, and I would argue that it's actually a human need to have attention, to be seen by somebody, to really be acknowledged by someone else. And I think beneath it really is that need to feel connected.
Yes.
When you have someone's attention, you have their presence, you have their focus, and it feels nice. It feels nice to receive. It feels nice to give when you're focused on someone.
Yeah.
And of course, when taken to an extreme, this can be damaging if you're desperate for attention, or maybe you have some unmet needs from childhood that are poking out in adulthood that cause you to, act out in certain ways just to be seen at all, because maybe you've gone a large part of your life being unseen and unheard.
Yeah.
Those things can become dangerous, but in relationships, that's something that's natural and normal to want.
Sure.
So what can happen is we can become so dependent on our partner for attention, and it's because we've made them such a big part of our world. We've made them a huge part of our purpose, a huge part of our life. And so when we're not receiving attention where we normally do, it feels like a major loss.
Yeah.
And we might be kind of streamlining that need for attention to our ex, to that one particular person.
Yeah, because we know what kind of level of attention we get from that person, especially like in a routine situation. So you kind of know when those moments come and the absence is there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I remember when I was going through my breakup with the Applebee's girl, that there were certain points in the day where I had some free time and she had some free time. We would just talk or see how each other's doing during the day. Not every day, but once that breakup was there, it was like, this is the time where I normally talk to her. This is the time where I know she's checking in or see how I'm doing or what I'm doing, or, just seeing how the day is going. And that loss is overwhelming. And so when you're going through that, you kind of feel like it's confusing. Like, don't they miss this too? I know I felt like that. I get a lot. I don't understand. How do they not miss me at this point of the day?
Why don't they care for my attention?
Yeah. How are they not missing talking to me at this point in the day or at this time or in this routine? I don't know how they're going through this and not feeling that loss.
Yeah, and it can be the smallest things, like the good morning texts, the good night texts, that kind of attention that you're used to.
Yeah, absolutely. But it makes us feel like they don't care anymore. We're not important. We feel small. We feel invisible. It's just a terrible feeling. Lonely.
Yeah, and we start to feel rejected because they're not giving us the attention that we're used to.
Yes, yeah, it does feel like a rejection.
And so dealing with and accepting that your ex is no longer giving you attention is part of healing. And we see this a lot when anxiety creeps up and we cannot handle the fact that we're not getting their attention. And so sometimes we try to force it. We try to, raise some alarms and say, hey, I'm here. I need your focus. I need your attention.
Yep.
But they have opted out of the relationship, so they are no longer willing to give you that.
I know, and it's a painful thing because sometimes it feels like it comes out of nowhere.
Right.
And you're just expected to no longer contact this person. And it's like, I don't know what to do.
Right.
And everything inside of you is saying, reconnect. I want this person's attention. But that's often the very thing we have to stop doing to get their attention again.
Right. And typically in a relationship, if you were to go to your partner and say, hey, I'm feeling this type of way, I would like to spend more time with you in this area or that area, they would be receptive, ideally, right? And
Sure.
so now you're in a breakup and you're trying to get that same attention, maybe doing some of those same things that you might have in a relationship where you're saying, hey, I'm not doing well, I'm grieving, I'm feeling all of these really intense feelings and I need your support, I need your attention, but you're not getting it from them. It can cause you to escalate even more.
Yeah.
You're trying to force it.
Yeah.
You're trying to do even sometimes really dramatic things in order to get that attention. Once again, attention gets a bad rap. Not saying that there are bad intentions here, but that's that need that's going unmet that you're really struggling to fill for yourself or with other things.
Yeah.
So it can be something that's really hard. We can even get to the point where we beg. You know, we start to beg our partner for them to be back in the relationship. We start to beg them even just for a reply back. Sometimes, please talk to me. Why aren't you talking to me? I want to hear from you.
Well,
So-
I think so many people are so unhealthy that they just become cruel. I think that the people that are healthier will show some empathy and compassion. And so I think the more secure the person is, the more they're going to have those conversations where they're like, you know, okay, I'll put some time aside for you so we can talk. And they're more compassionate. Whereas the people that are unhealthier and struggle with their mental health more are more likely to shut down, not give you any compassion, not give you any empathy, be cruel to you, ignore you, and make you feel awful.
Yeah, exactly. There's exes that won't give you that kind of attention in a cruel way. And so that can really cause you to escalate and feel a lot of anxiety. So this can be really hard to deal with. We want to give you a couple tips on how to manage this want and need for attention, how to be able to find some level ground here while you're dealing with the breakup.
So what do? You want their attention so badly. Everything inside, that's like the most important thing to you. It feels like nothing else matters.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to eat.
You might be getting
You don't
attention
want to
from
drink.
anybody else.
You could be getting, you could be getting attention from a lot of people. Obviously, a lot of women get a lot of attention when guys know they're single. And a lot of times these women are just like, I don't want attention from anybody but that one person. I mean,
Yeah.
so, you know, what do you do when you just want one person's attention and they're the ones that aren't interested? Well, you have to start doing things for yourself. As hard as it may be, you've got to shift your focus onto healing and being okay without them, getting through this. Okay, it doesn't mean that they're not going to come back, but if you're not in a good place when they come back and you're still acting desperate and needy and overwhelming them, they're likely not going to want to repair this because they're going to feel like that behavior is unattractive.
Right. And in the beginning, especially if we're talking about social support, in the beginning, no one's attention is going to replace your ex's attention, right?
Yeah.
You're going to be getting texts from other people on your phone. You're going to be disappointed that it's not your ex in the
Oh,
beginning.
it's the Chili's girl. It's the Outback girl. No, I only want the Applebee's girl. The Taco Bell girl. She's not bad.
So these things can happen where, once again, your attention is so streamlined on getting your ex's attention specifically that you kind of ignore everybody else. You have to continue to surround yourself with people. You can't isolate because that's one of the worst things that you can do for yourself. And eventually, what you're willing to receive will reset. So you'll be able to receive a bit more from your friends. Those things will start to matter more the more time you spend with them. This can be really hard to break out of, but it's important to not isolate, even if you're so focused on your ex.
Absolutely.
Other things that are important to do is think about what attention does for you. So there are a lot of needs underneath that need that attention meets. The need to feel validated. You also want to think about what attention does for you. So under the need of attention are other needs as well. The need for validation, the need for connection, and these things are really important. So break down what that attention does for you and find out ways that you could fill those things yourself. You know, we recommend therapy in almost every video. And that can be a way to discover how to meet some of your own needs and learn how to self-soothe during this time of a lot of distress.
Yeah.
And also being able to continue to be social, as we talked about.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot of really important things. And one last little tip that can be helpful is to overcome needing that attention from your ex by giving attention to people that you love and care about.
Yeah.
So we can be so focused on getting that text message from them. We can be so focused on getting that call from them or things escalating with our ex that we forget all the other important things around us, our values sometimes, things that, we really enjoy doing. So think also about giving attention to those things that you want to nourish in your life. Much easier said than done.
Yeah, but it's a great point, because when you start to shift your focus on maybe helping others or being there for other people, the focus is not so much on yourself and this huge dilemma that you're going through or this devastating loss, because you're now shifting on trying to help other people. And like volunteering is a great way to help and focus on that. And then it makes you feel a little bit better about yourself and what you're going through, especially if you're seeing people with maybe worse problems. You know what I mean? Like maybe you volunteer at a homeless shelter or something like that, where you're seeing people that don't even have a place to live or anything to eat. You know what I mean? Those very basic needs as well.
Right.
So yes, I do think that focusing on other people is a great way to not feel so stuck on yourself.
Exactly.
And the research backs that too. Okay, so hopefully this one's been helpful to you. Of course, if you want to get our help personally, you could do that on our website, askcraig.net. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Coach Victoria is also available for Skype coaching.
I'm here whenever you'd like to chat.
Just click on her name on the top of the website to schedule with her. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And we will talk with you soon.